So second semester comes, I'm back blowing, I'm back hanging out with the homies, listening to rap, all that, listening to music. My stepdad calling me, he like, man, yo, you should come out here to Philly. When the semester end, maybe you can work out here and work out in Philly. And me, that sounded like a great idea, you know what I'm saying? Because I did not want to come back to Minnesota. I was doing whatever I can to avoid coming back home because I knew what the environment was for me at that time and just what I was around and just kind of, just the times and the age of where I was and just once you kind of got a taste of traveling and just kind of seeing different stuff, you just, you know what I'm saying? It was hard to just kind of come back and just go back into the same things. That wasn't a knock against anybody at home or any of my friends at home or my family at home. It was just I was trying to, manifest my dream or dreams and wanting to make something of myself and just figure out how to get, get from A to Z. But I remember, you know, in I remember basically the second semester kicked off where it kind of hurt us in my crew because at that time we had got so much tighter just hanging with each other every day. And I could just remember an event that kind of broke us, that kind of, in a lot of ways, I believe God used it in so many ways, but in a lot of ways it kind of broke up our crew. And so what happened was my roommate had a best friend down there, and he was in our suite too. Somehow these guys, my roommate's best friend gets to arguing with this girl on campus about a name he called her. And I'm like, you know what I'm saying? Me, I'm playing the background the whole entire time. I ain't got nothing to do with it. But I'm just sitting there like, man, this is lame. I can't even believe we even involved in this. So the girl basically gets her heart broke so bad. He's just dogging her, calling her name, all of that in front of everybody. Walking back to the campus, just dogging her. So I'm outside one time. I'm outside. I played the background. All of a sudden, I go outside. I'm hanging with the homegirl Tiffany and them, the second Tiffany, and all of the other homegirls. But all I know is I wasn't tripping off nothing. Wasn't nobody running up on me, doing nothing to me. I was cool. You know what I'm saying? That's all I knew. Somehow the girl that my roommate best friend at the time was basically dogging her, she had got some dudes to kind of come defend her. So, make a long story short, I don't even know where it flipped towards us. You know what I'm saying? Because that's how weird it got. So they somehow I'm outside, all my homies in them upstairs in the suite, chilling. They come back down to get me because they figured like, you know what I'm saying, they ain't want to leave me hanging. So I'm like, dang, I didn't even, like me, this how oblivious I was to the whole situation. Ain't nobody running up on me, I ain't even thinking like that, you know what I'm saying? So my roommate come back down and he's sitting next to me and the other homie, Tony, is on the other side of my roommate. They come around me. And next thing you know, I'm like, okay, the girl that was arguing with my roommate best friend, now she arguing with him. Cause somehow he didn't got in the middle of it, I guess, saying some stuff. And me, I'm just sitting there just like, what's going on? And my roommate, he like this with his eyes closed. You know what I'm saying? Shrugging his shoulders with his eyes closed the whole time. And I'm just sitting there looking at him like, dude, if you don't, you know what I'm saying? If you don't pay attention to what's going on, man. And he arrogant, cocky. Next thing you know, I see a dude surfing through the crowd and I'm looking like, what's going on? The whole time I'm like, okay, something must finna go down. So I'm trying to position myself, but I notice he kind of going behind the back, but then I see some more people. So right when he runs up, tries to hit my roommate, I blocks his hand. Boom. Knocks him. So he barely hits my roommate, but he hits him. Boom. I knocked his hand up. Boom. Run off. He runs around this tree. I chase the dude. I don't even know what I'm fighting for. I chase the dude. He gets around the tree. He's squared up on me. Like this. He ain't even throw a punch. Runs off around this whole crowd. Me, I'm looking back. Okay, now I'm thinking to myself like, okay, I gotta watch who might be following me. So I turn around and I look. And I don't see nobody. Everybody gone. I'm like, okay. Run back to the front of the building. I cut through. I don't see nobody. Come to find out, they on the side of the building. Whole time I never even noticed. So next thing you know, I'm thinking they left me. So I run upstairs. Like, okay, they left me upstairs. I run upstairs and see nobody in the suite. I see George, the person who started it, on the phone looking down. As he looked down, I look down. I see a bunch of people just kind of like in a circle, just squabbling or just somebody, just some stuff going on. I'm like, hold on, you ain't down here? You the one started this? He on the phone just talking. I'm like, wow. I run back downstairs. If at that point, if I ain't want nothing to do with it, I wouldn't have never went back downstairs. If I was any bit of worried about what anybody was doing or saying or anything somebody had to do, I wouldn't have never ran back downstairs. I run back downstairs. Next thing you know, I see one of the other homies, Brandon. He runs up and he just still on dude. Boom. I'm looking like, hold on. When did you get in this? The whole time it's like, you know what I'm saying? The whole time this is just a big melee going on. Yeah, whatever happened, man, I know ain't nobody run up on me. I ain't get touched. The dudes that actually did it, you know what I'm saying, when it was all said and done, the dudes that actually did it was dudes that I was cool with, that I had met earlier, that I was telling you about from New Orleans and from Shreveport and all that, from Louisiana and all that. I was shooting dice with them. So none of these dudes felt no need to run up on me because I was cool with them. And had I known that, and had I been the person I am today, I'd have definitely broke that up. You know what I'm saying? I would have never even let that even get to where it got. Because it broke my crew up, actually. Because my roommate, man, I hope you, when you see it, this ain't, this ain't no slander or nothing. But when I seen what they did to that man, I was hurt. Wow. So, I mean, they gave him, and this dude is a light-skinned dude, you know what I'm saying? And they basically, they gave him, I don't know what happened, but he was drunk, and I ended up feeling so bad, you know what I'm saying, that it affected the relationship I had with them other dudes, because from there, it turned into like, they was looking at me trying to see if I was, you know what I'm saying, gonna choose sides. And I was so hurt that I was like, man, listen, man, y'all did my roommate dirty. And so it turned into mean mugs and kind of just looking at each other. But deep down inside, I know that, you know what I'm saying, that I knew that was them. I could have easily de-escalated that whole situation because that's how cool it was. And from that time on, it was like, I knew it was a wrap on our whole little camaraderie that we had as a crew. And so I was embarrassed from the fact that it was like, yo, this whole situation started from something that I ain't had nothing to do with. But I felt so like everybody else looked at me like I was supposed to do something, you know what I'm saying? And I felt bad because it was like, you know what I'm saying, the time I wanted to jump in it, ain't nothing happened. I chased the dude. I couldn't see what was going on. Next thing you know, I turn back around. I'm looking for them. I'm thinking they left me. I go upstairs, come back down, and the whole thing is just all over in a minute, and it's just like wow. And so the course of that time, my homies and them looked at me like I left them or something, and it broke my heart because it was like, dang, like I would never do nothing like that. Plus the situation was so lame, like, but I knew that our whole camaraderie was over, and in a lot of ways, the reason why I say God must have used that is because it was like a slow level of detachment from kind of that whole smoking and just kind of just, it was like a detachment from it, not just them, but just kind of like, okay, I kind of knew like, dang, like that, you know what I'm saying, that camaraderie, had that not happened, ain't no telling how, you know what I'm saying, ain't no telling what would have happened after that. Might have still been there, might have been cool, but I knew that I probably needed to be detached emotionally from a lot of that. You know what I'm saying? Because for me, I'm a loyal person. I can get kind of grouped and kind of just, in a lot of ways, once I kind of rock with you solid, I don't really like to change, even when weird stuff go on. You know what I'm saying? I hate that I'm kind of like that, loyal, so loyal that it's hard to walk away even in certain situations. But yeah, man, that was the thing that probably broke our little crew up in our camaraderie. So that whole second semester after that happened was weird. And so yeah, man, I was just kind of going and coming as I went, you know. But the whole second semester was just like it affected everything. And you know, my grades, all of that stuff. Just I remember just trying to like get financial aid and work study and all that stuff. And I remember I had a work study too. And it was just like, man, that stuff just affected everything. But to be continued.